Yeah, Sana, yes, we can start. Okay. So, before we start, I just want everybody to just give me the introduction, like the name, the company which they are working, and what is the background. Like, are you are working on SAP already, or you are new to SAP? Just a quick background about yourself. So, Sana, can you just unmute one by one and let them speak?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Gaurav. This.
Hello.
Hi Gaurav, this is Raghu and I'm a FICO consultant primarily into CO module and I have like
Okay.
10 years of experience.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Next, please.
Hey Gaurav, Madhu here. I'm into FICO from more than 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, could you please also give me your introduction? I have not been gone through your demo session. Just directly
Sure,
joined
sure,
into
sure.
the session.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. I will give my introduction also.
thank you.
Before that, is anybody else who is online and just want? Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Neeraj.
Uh, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, Neeraj, can you just give you a quick introduction?
Name Dheeraj Mittal, profession chartered accountant, experience close to 15 years, FICO
Okay.
certified.
Okay.
Earlier worked with SAP,
Mm-hmm.
so I was in team of Malodan and all. So I believe you're working with Malodan right now.
Sorry,
Are you working with Malodan right now?
Malonan, it's what? I'm not getting you.
Gaurav, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that you're working with SAP India right now.
No, no, no. I'm not working with SAP India. I'm working on SAP, but not on the payroll of SAP India.
Okay, so from third party, you're working
Yes,
for
yes. I'm
SAP
working with the
projects,
one.
na?
Yeah, yeah. I'm working with SAP projects, but one of the other consulting
Third
company. I'm
parties.
not working with SAP India.
I see. Because finance in SAP, finance is headed by Malonan,
Okay.
right? Bangalore based.
Okay, okay, okay. No, 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 I'm not aware of that.
So because you must be working in any of his projects, all the finance projects in SAP, and
Uh-huh.
especially here in Delhi, all over India, all the finance projects run under Malonan. He's himself a
Okay.
chartered accountant, close to around about 20 years of experience,
Mm-hmm.
and initially a very old FICO certified consultant, a very,
Okay.
very senior person.
Okay.
Right. So that's what I was wondering when I heard that you've been working for SAP.
I'm working on SAP, but not directly in the SAP, SAP India.
Okay, wonderful, excellent.
Who is next? I think Bhumi.
Hi, Saurav.
Sorry, it is
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. Actually, I'm working as an SAP FICO consultant in Malaysia for Abim Consulting. Uh, Currently, I'm doing in a support project. I have overall experience in SAP about 5 years. Prior
Mm-hmm.
to that, I was working as a cost accountant before to SAP.
Okay. I think Kumar, can you just give your introduction? Okay, Kumar, Abhijit, Arun, can anybody start giving your introduction? Yes, Abhijit.
So hi, Gaurav, this is Abhijit. I'm a SAP FICO consultant with 15 years experience.
Okay. Okay. So most of you, I think, are SAP FICO consultants. So you are already working on SAP projects. Only thing is you are here to learn what is new in SAP Simple Finance and how to migrate. Like if you are already using SAP FICO, how will you migrate to the new product called as SAP Simple Finance? Okay. Arun, Jacob, anybody wants to introduce yourself?
Hi Gaurav, this is Jacob.
Okay.
I got around 7 years of experience in SAP, but that's mostly into BPC,
Okay.
BPC and BW.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a good knowledge of FI, but basically I don't have any proper implementation experience of FI as such.
Okay. Okay. Kumar, Madhu.
Hey Gaurav, I gave my introduction already.
Okay,
So
you already
I work
already
for
give, yes.
more. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then I think we should go ahead and let me give my introduction to you. I am Gaurav and I'm working with SAP FICO and other SAP finance modules like FSCM from last 8 years, and I have the training experience of around 5 years now. So I'm taking the trainings in SAP FI, SAP CO, and now from last 4 months I'm taking the trainings also in SAP Simple Finance. So uh, I have worked on various implementation support rollout projects as far as SAP FI and CO is concerned, and from last 4 months, like when this SAP Simple Finance came into the market, and I got some trainings into it, and fortunately I got the chance to work on one of the project, and currently I am working on second project of SAP Simple Finance. So we are already started working on the first project in around June or June end or July beginning, and in I think in the last month we started off with the second project also. So currently I'm working with two different projects which are related to implementation or migration to SAP Simple Finance. So I think most of you were available when we have discussed about the demo session. If you're not available, not a problem. Let me just give the background of what this training is all about, what will be covered in this training, and what do you expect from this course. So this SAP Simple Finance course is basically to give you an idea of what is new in this product and whatever are the new functionalities, how you are going to move to this functionality. Like if you are already using, let's say, classical GL accounting and you want to use this new functionality, what is the process, what are the steps that you need to take so that all your data has been transported to the new system? Because the data model, like if you see about the database is completely different if you talk about the old ERP system or SAP system and the new SAP system, which is based on S/4HANA. So if you want to migrate to use this new functionality, it is prerequisite that you are uh, already on SAP HANA. If you are not, so that is also the part of this project. So currently, let's say if you are working on a classical GL accounting on any other database, for example, you are using Microsoft SQL Server, okay, and now you are comfortable with your company has seen all the benefits of Simple Finance and they are saying, okay, we want to go ahead with implementation of Simple Finance. So in that case, first of all, you have to make sure that you will upgrade your database to SAP HANA. You will install the latest ERP EHP version, and then only you can migrate all your data from classical GL accounting to the new Simple Finance accounting. If you already moved from, let's say, classical to new GL, and currently if you are already working on new GL accounting, in that case also, if you are already on SAP HANA, good. If you are not, you need to upgrade your database and you have to move from new GL accounting to Simple Finance. So there is a process, there are some steps which are required when you want to move all your data, and if you want to use the new functionalities, you have to follow these steps. So that steps plus new functionalities, the overview of new functionalities, and after performing all these steps, that means after migration, your old system to the new system, the new functionalities. For example, if you are talk about asset accounting, there are some changes which are related to asset accounting. So when you are migrating your data, once you are on the new system, there is some difference in the way the transactions have to be performed. So till now, the asset accounting how you were doing is a little bit different than what you have to do in the new version. So we are going to have the talk about the new transactions also. So if I just give you the contents, like how it will be, first of all, we are going to start off with the introduction. So we cannot go directly to the introduction of Simple Finance because there are some building blocks that we need to follow. So first of all, we need to understand what SAP HANA is, what are the capabilities of SAP HANA. Although not too much technical, we are not going to touch too much of details what SAP HANA is because we are just going to understand from the functional point of view. So once we are aware, okay, this SAP HANA is a database which stores the data in the form of columns and all, then we can understand what this S/4HANA is. Okay, so and what is the journey, like how SAP has come up with SAP HANA, what was next, and how it has arrived till S/4HANA. And once we understood what S/4HANA is, then we will talk about SAP Simple Finance. So although these two topics, SAP HANA and S/4HANA, this is just the overview topics. We are not going to touch in too much of details. But whenever we are going to start with SAP Simple Finance, we are going to touch each and every topic related to that particular topic. So as I told you, first of all, we understand what is SAP Simple Finance in theory, what are the different benefits, what are the different functionalities available within that. Once we are done with that, we'll start off with the actual system in which we'll understand what are the different migration steps, what are the configurations required before you migrate to SAP Simple Finance, and once you are already on, once your data is already migrated, there are some configurations which are still required if you want to use the new functionalities of Simple Finance. So this is the agenda. Okay, so these are the things which we are going to cover in this course. Apart from that, there are some other things also like SAP Fiori. So how SAP Simple Finance will work in connection with SAP Fiori, like how the user will get the access of SAP Fiori and how he can do the transactions into the new user experience. That is also part of this course. But again, because this SAP Fiori and all these are all technical modules, so we are just going to talk about the functionality. We are just going to see how the screens will look like, how different the screen will be as compared to the normal ERP. Clear? So this is what will be covered in this course. So if some of you were not available in the demo session, this is exactly what we talked about in the course content. Anybody has any doubt in the course content, like
Yeah,
what should yeah.
Yeah, so you will be covering this new cash management and liquidity management as well, like what new features are there?
Yes, see, if you talk about the new cash management, you first of all, I'm expecting that uh, all of you know that what is the old cash management first of all, right? So this course is not about talking about the old part. So for example, if I'm talking about simple finance, let's say general ledger accounting or maybe ledger uh, concepts, new GL concepts. So I'm expecting that most of you are already aware of new GL, right? Although I'm going to explain you the basics of like what was happening in the old system, but at the same time, I'm not going to explain everything in detail because my focus will be on the new functionality. So although I will touch new cache management, but it is not like that I'll explain the entire cache management functionality which was working in the earlier system also. So I'm just going to talk about the delta part. So whatever is the new in new cache management that I'm going to cover,
Yeah,
but
exactly that.
yes, I'm not going to cover too much of details related to old cache management. So I'm expecting that when we start off with that particular session, you should brush up your knowledge of the old cache management and we can concentrate only on the delta part.
Hi Gaurav, this is Neeraj here.
Yeah, Neeraj.
Excuse me. See, when we implement
Mm-hmm.
simple finance, so in fact, the technical part as well as the functional part, what is the
Mm-hmm.
distinction in between? I mean to say, when we implement simple finance, so
Mm-hmm.
now your migration of your legacy data into HANA, your SLTs or your bots, all these
Mm-hmm.
things are to be taken care by the functional consultant like us, or that will be the job of the basis guy, and he'll prepare me the platform, and then I
Mm-hmm.
implement this functional module and go on the functional side. So how's it in this SAP Simple Finance?
Okay, so let me clarify the question. You are saying implementation means you are saying from the old system to the new system. You are talking about only migration, right?
It's migration and then configuration of the new functionalities to
No, no, but
ultimately make
the
available the system.
yeah, but the scenario is that you are already using SAP system and now you want to go to the simple finance, right? This is the scenario.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah. So in that case, as I told you, there is Neeraj, can you mute your mic?
Just a minute. How do I mute it? Do I mute? Just a minute. I really am struggling to figure out how do I mute.
Yes, I think it is done. So Neeraj, see, as I told you, there is a sequence of steps that you need to perform. So in the migration project, normally we call this project as a migration project because you are migrating your old system to the new system. So within the migration project, we have the sequence of steps and we have different phases. So we have divided this into 5 phases. The first phase is the preparation phase, in which you are going to make sure that all my data is correct in my old system. So for example, if your balance sheet is not matching in your old system itself, there is no point taking this balances to the new system. So in preparation phase, I need to make sure that all the data is correct and complete. Then we will talk about the second step is called as the installation phase. Installation means you will install the SAP Simple Finance add-on. Add-on means the the technical component which will come with this product, you will install that technical component into your server. Okay, and this particular activity is going to be performed by the basis or any technical consultant. I think it will be performed by the basis consultant. Okay, this installation is a technical thing. So when this installation phase will begin, or maybe within this installation phase, whatever is your question, the functional modules, the BODS, everything, including the tables. When I talk about this process in detail, I'll tell you which I'm talking about, which tables. But everything, whatever tables, whatever functional modules, whatever technical things are available in the old system, this step will make sure that all that has been copied to the new system. Now, once this is done, then the functional thing will start, like configuring the new system according to the new requirements, then migrating the data, like the functional data, transactional data from the old system to the new system, then configuration of the new functionalities, and finally the UAT and the go live. So I think your question is like the technical things will be performed by whom? Yes, they will be performed by the basis consultant, and it will be performed in the installation phase. So Neeraj, have I answered your question? No, just a minute. Yeah, Neeraj, I unmuted you.
Gaurav, yes, thank you very much. So I understand technical migration is still would be in the arena of basis. So
Yes.
once they have prepared the field and the technical migration is complete, we'll only be concerned with migrating of transaction data and then start
Yes.
configuring the delta or whatever functionalities
Exactly.
depending upon the blueprint, client's blueprint.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so we are not supposed to migrate at the table level from the traditional to the HANA, bringing it
No,
from
no,
traditional.
that is not our responsibility. As a functional consultant, no.
Okay, because you do SLT services like system landscape transformation and all, so this will be carried out by the basis guy.
Yes, yes, yes. Because see, you will be only able to perform the functional related transactions once all these new transactions are available into the system, right? Because the configuration and all, you need to have these new transactions to be available in the system, and they will be only available when you install this component into your landscape, and that will be done by the technical consultant.
Right. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else has any questions here? No questions?
Do we, hi, this is Dheeraj here. One more
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Do we have a map also in the new system as we used to have it the previous? In other words, will there be scope for development also, like we used to do in ABAP?
Yes, yes, yes. It will remain as it is because, see, this new system, it will take care, like, it will use the capabilities of HANA, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in the next slide. But as you told that the tables will change dramatically. So currently
Yes,
there are
I
different tables.
remember, I was reading somewhere it's ACDOCA will be the only table now, which will be like
Mm-hmm.
central general table. And
Yes.
all the tables from FI and from CO and other places, all the fields would
Mm-hmm.
merge into this
Mm-hmm.
one table.
Right.
So that will be the structural change now.
Yes. No, but in that case also, if there is one table, if you want to generate a basic report, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can always use the ABAP coding for that. And that is, see, AC-Doc, it is just merging all the tables, but it is not the case that you will not need any other table. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if I'm merging only, let's say, material ledger, COPA, asset accounting and let's say new GL accounting. So I'm merging these four tables. But again, if I need some data related to master data, for example, when I'm talking about the vendor open line items, in that is in AC.A I can get the vendor code. If I want the address and all to be available in the report, that again I have to write the code to extract this data from the vendor master.
Okay.
Right, even that. So ABAP will not change. It is only the thing is that this coding can become easy because you don't need to touch multiple tables because most of the information you will directly get in a single table.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off with today's session. So today, as I
One
told you
question,
first,
Gaurav.
yes, please.
Till now, you guys are talking about cash management or asset accounting or general ledger changes. So, is there any changes for accounts receivable and accounts payable also in this simple
Uh,
finance?
yes, see, if you talk about account receivables and accounts payables related to the configuration, related to the transactions, there are no such changes, or maybe there are not the huge changes. Okay, but the change basically is in the technical terms. For example, till now, the open items of AR and AP were stored in BSIK and cleared items in BSAK. So BSIK, BSID, BSAD, BSAK. These were the different tables which were storing the data related to open and cleared items. But now these tables will be removed because all the data will be stored in a single table called as EC.K. Right. So technical level there is a change, but if you talk about these transactions, if you talk about the screens which are available earlier in the system, they will not change. But again, as I told you, the concept of SAP Fiori. So today, if you want to enter an invoice, for example, there are 10 different users who need to pass this, let's say, vendor invoice. So in that case, you need to provide all these 10 users to the laptop. You need to provide him the user ID and password, and you need to purchase the licenses for entering these transactions. But if you are going for SAP Fiori, okay, so what will happen is the licensing cost will come down because SAP Fiori is just an app. You don't need to log in directly into the SAP system, okay, and you don't need to provide them with the laptops and PCs because if the transactions are very small, for example, approving the PO or maybe approving the invoice, they can do directly on their mobile also. Okay, so front end point of view, yes, uh, you have the additional option of passing the entries through SAP Fiori app. But from the technical side or maybe from the SAP ECC side, we will still use the same transaction code FB64 vendor invoice, FB74 customer invoice. So there is no change as such in the functionality. Only changes in the technical terms, like the data will be updated in a single table and you have the additional option of passing the vendor and customer invoices using the Fiori apps. Apart from that, there is no major change in AR and AP.
Okay, then how about the new GL functionality, the Flexa and FlexT tables, that scenario if AC.K table comes in?
Yes, so FAGL FlexT again will be removed because in Simple Finance we don't need to store any totals in the database. So again, we are going to delete FAGL FlexT and all the data will be stored in AC.K. Although the totals will not be done, will not be stored in the database, it will be performed on the run. So whenever you are asking for the query which is related to the totals, the total will be done on the runtime and it will give you the results. So yes, FAGL FlexT will be removed. Even BSIS, BSAS, these are all called as index tables. They will also be removed.
How about Flexa? Still the splitting happens in UGL with Flexa, or is it also stored in AC?
No, FAGL Flexa will also be removed. There BSEG will remain as it is. There is a reason to why the BSEG will remove, but sorry, BSEG will be available. FAGL Flexa will also be removed because again this uh, splitted characteristics and the line items will be available in AC.K directly. You don't need to go for FAGL Flexa. So AC.K will store all the data which was available by FAGL Flexa, and with the additional characteristics of material ledger, COPA, this all information will be stored in AC docket.
Okay, so it means like AR AP reporting gets improved with these characteristics, splitting characteristics on the.
Yes, yes. So reporting will be become very easy because you don't need to go for multiple tables. All the information is available in a single table, or most of the information.
Gaurav, this is Neeraj here.
Yeah.
Could you throw some light on what we are covering in terms of Fiori in this course? Like what are
Yes.
the steps
See.
and what we are doing right?
Yes, yes. So as I told you, SAP Fiori is completely a different module. We are not going to cover what is SAP Fiori as such, but we are only going to talk about how SAP Fiori can help us in simple finance or maybe the FSCO. So for example, if I'm using SAP Fiori app, how it will look like, what will be the applications available within that SAP Fiori app. For example, if you are a AP processor, so if I give you the access of SAP Fiori app, how your screen will look like, what transactions will it include, and when you click on a particular app, for example, creation of vendor invoice, how it will look like. Apart from that, what is happening in the background, what is happening in the like how these apps are designed, that is not our part because SAP Fiori is again a different module.
Okay, so
But
then
how it
that's my mobility guy who will do this, right?
sorry Neeraj?
That will be my mobility guy who will do this.
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes. So
integration of Fiori then to your SAP and from SAP then to your application there, that integration, especially the SMP, which
yes.
SAP mobile platform. So it has to go through that, and the mobile guy would take care of this, right?
Right, exactly. So
Right.
from functional point of view, if you want to, like, if you are a functional consultant and your user is asking you that, can I have a separate app here? So maybe you need to provide the information to the mobility guy who will take care of who will make sure that this particular app is available for this user. But it is not your responsibility to add an app or remove an app. It is the responsibility of the mobility consultant. But only thing is how the screen will look like, how the like the when you train the user. For example, today if you are training the user, you are showing them the ECC screen. But going forward, if the company has decided or maybe they have implemented SAP Fiori also and they are asking that all the users will not directly log in into the ECC system, rather than that they can directly go into SAP Fiori and make the transactions. In that case, you need to provide them how SAP Fiori screen look like and how they will enter the transactions using Fiori screen. So
Got it. Got it.
this is
Got it.
what is part of this course.
Okay. So my role would be just as a front end, just explaining or showing them the transactions. The
Yes,
transactions.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Got it. Thanks.
I just want to share my knowledge here. When you said mobility guy, uh, maybe apps configuration will be earlier before Simple Finance mobility people, but now all ABAPers uh, are the responsible for SAP Fiori. So of course, functional Simple Finance functional consultant will gather the requirement from the users, what kind of apps they want, and then that kind of requirement we are delivering or we are giving to SAP Fiori consultants who are ABAPers who also knows about Fiori. Then those people will develop this app or structure. There
Yes.
are
So
ready-made apps are available. First we will search that. If not, then yes, the new app will be created. That is my understanding as per my client, which they are using already Fiori. Okay, coming to my final question. When you said migration,
mhm.
so there are three types of migration. What I heard, are you covering those three? Number one is if the client is not having SAP,
Mhm.
directly he want to implement SAP Simple Finance. This is first scenario. Second
Okay.
one is client has old version, that means classic GL functionality. Uh,
Mhm.
Now he wants to migrate into Simple Finance directly.
Okay.
The third scenario, client is using new GL functionality. Now he wants to move to SAP Simple Finance. So are you covering these 3 topics in your migration course?
Yes, all 3 will be covered.
Perfect. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Just to add to your this Fiori, so you said that you said it's absolutely right. So it is like there are already pre-delivered apps which are available from SAP, but if the user, like if the company has created some G transaction or maybe the standard transaction which is not used that much and SAP has not provided the pre-delivered, in that case it will be same, like you are going to, you as a functional consultant, you will be responsible for providing them how this new apps have to be designed. For example, if you are designing the new app, let's say for, okay, let's understand that I want to create a Fiori app for my payment, for vendor payment. So in that case, in the FS, same way, the FS you were giving to the ABAP, this FS you have to give to the Fiori guy. Now again, it is not necessary that the ABAP person is only responsible for the Fiori, because Fiori, SAP Fiori is a separate module and there are a lot of experts who are available directly on SAP Fiori. So it is optional if they are coming from the ABAP background or they are not coming. Okay, and now when you provide this FS to the SAP Fiori, you need to make sure to give him the old screen. So for example, I'll tell them, okay, go to this F-53 transaction and take all these fields from this particular transaction and make them available in the SAP Fiori app. So it is just same as what we were doing till now for providing the FS to our ABAPers.
That's true.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, and this is Raghu, and one more. My understanding is like even you can use Fiori with without Simple Finance, but SAP
Yes.
content would not be available.
Yes.
So you need to build it from scratch. But if you are using Simple Finance, the pre-delivered content would be available.
Yes. So SAP Fiori is available as a bundle pack with SAP Simple Finance, but even if you don't want to move to SAP Simple Finance right away and you want to use SAP Fiori, that option is also available. So you can ask SAP to provide you the SAP Fiori licenses and you can start using SAP Fiori even in your old system also. Yes, you are right, Raghu.
Yes, Raghu. Right now, Fiori is free. No need of any license payment. So with the new enhancement pack, it is available.
Yes. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, so most of the things will get cleared when we go ahead with this course, because whatever we discuss now, these are all part of course. This is all like somebody has asked that what will happen to my FAGL Flexa table, FlexT table, what will happen to my index tables, how will the reports will be generated. All these questions will be solved when we talk about the functionality of SAP Simple Finance. Even the migration, we are going to talk about all the 3 different scenarios. So from the classical GL, from the new GL, from the fresh SAP implementation, all we are going to talk about when we talk about the migration approach. So before that, before touching the SAP Simple Finance, so as I told you, what I'm going to cover today is just the introduction part of SAP HANA and SAP S4HANA. Let me know if you can see this screen. Can you see the agenda screen, agenda slide?
No.
Still not able to see. Can you see now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we are going to talk about SAP HANA and we are going to talk about SAP S4HANA. So let's go to SAP HANA first. Yes. So can anybody answer me what is SAP HANA?
Sure, but before that, Gaurav, one more question
Yeah.
before we proceed to this. With
Mm-hmm.
respect to the availability of infrastructure for practice or the text material and how we take this forward, So my question was, for how long we'll have access to the system? And B, I'm assuming that this system already has HANA as the database and all the functionalities are installed, where we can try and dirty hands as well. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, see, server accessibility, I think you have to check with the coordinator because I'm not aware how much time they are providing the access.
Okay.
Okay. And second thing, yes, it is already pre-configured with SAP Simple Finance add-on. So all the functionalities are available within this system.
Okay.
But only thing you need to make in mind is that this system is already done with the migration process. So you cannot do multiple migrations on the same system, right? So if you are already using SAP Simple Finance, you already migrated your data from the old system, right? So we are going to see these steps. What are these steps? But we are not going to we are not be able to
Going to practically
perform with.
migrate it.
Yes,
Okay.
practically we can see the screens. We can see how these errors will come. Everything we can see, but we cannot have the practical data available in our system. So that is only the challenge.
Okay.
So if you are if you are already working with, for example, if you are already working in your company as a SAP Simple Finance and you have some uh, landscape available where you can do all this testing, that will be fine. But here you will be able to see all the screens, you can perform the transactions, but at the same time you cannot move your data from the old system because it is already done. So you cannot do this step multiple times.
Fine.
Okay. So yes, so yeah, I was asking if anybody can tell what is SAP HANA and why it has come into the picture, like why SAP launched SAP HANA as a platform or database, whatever you say.
Speed.
Okay, speed is one reason. What else?
Speed, reduction in TCO,
Reduction in
Okay,
simple, more simple
footprint
to
of data.
maintain, etc., etc. There are a number of reasons for this.
Actually,
okay,
So idea was
SAP
to
R3 is sitting on a SQL database, right? So now it is replacing the S4 if I'm not mistaken.
sorry, can you repeat what you said?
So currently the SAP R3 data is sitting in SQL database, which is quite slower. Then now we are replacing this instead of SQL to move. We are moving to S4. S4
SAP
HANA.
HANA, SAP HANA,
SAP
yes.
HANA.
So it is not necessary that up till now we were using SQL Server. There were a lot of different databases which are available with
Yeah.
SAP. So Oracle is also one of the
Yeah.
database tool which we were using till now. And yes, now we are moving to SAP HANA. But that is exactly my question. Like Neeraj just answered that speed, the TCO, all these points are the reasons why SAP has come up with a new database. Anybody else wants to add on this? Like what is
Yeah,
your
there are other
understanding?
capabilities like predictive analysis where you can do some kind of simulations and all kind of latest arithmetics, which was not possible in traditional databases.
Okay.
Yeah, and one more
Okay.
thing, SAP himself don't have any own database. That is also one of the main reason. They're always depending on some SQL or Oracle or DB2, some databases. So, and also mainly for the speed. For example, for COPA reports or any reports, which will run very quickly in seconds. Not it will not take minutes. It will be in seconds.
Okay. Yeah. So
Also
speed
will be
again.
much faster, right? In SAP HANA compared to SAP R3
Okay.
background job.
Okay. Yeah. I think all of you are right. So let us understand why this idea came into SAP's, like why they wanted to create a new database model. So let's understand what were the disadvantages of the classical database. So they were designed to perform well on computers with limited RAM. So if you know the history of Oracle SQL Server, they were created a long time back, around 30 years back, when the computers had the limited RAM. So today, if you talk about RAM, maybe if you go backwards 5 years backwards, so you can see in the mobiles we were storing the data like we were having the memory card of 512 MB, and today we are storing 64 GB also. So whatever applications we were running 5 years back on our 512 MB, definitely there has been improvement. You can run new applications now because you are having a lot of memory available in your mobiles, right? Similar to that, if you talk about our computers also, so earlier we were maybe 5 years back, again 5 or 10 years back, we were using just the 512 MB RAM, and today we are talking about 8 MB, 16 MB, and even now like 32 MB is also available. So this means that when this database were designed, Oracle, SQL Server, or whatever are the classical database, MySQL, so at that time there was not sufficient RAM available, right? Although I'm not saying that they are continuing to they are not done any development after that. They have come with a lot of versions also in the future, but the basic background, like they're storing the relational database, they call it the relational database. So that concept has not been changed from the inception. So today also, if I talk about Oracle, SQL Server, they are all relational database. What is relational database is? They store the data in the form of rows, right? So whenever I'm going to enter any transaction, it will be stored in the form of rows. But what is happening here is, if you store the data in the form of rows and you have a lot of data to store, so it is always suggested in relational database to keep all these tables separate and create a primary key and a secondary key. I don't know how many of you understand the technical part of like what is primary key, secondary key, but these were all the challenges in the old structure, in the old database. So for example, if I want to store the information of salary details of the employee, so normally what I do is I create a table in which I'll just provide the employee ID, okay, and the various components of salary and the amount. But if I want to have the details of what is like what is the details of the employee as far as address is concerned, again I was creating a separate table in which I was storing the employee code, employee name, address information, and all that information. So instead of storing the data in the one table, I have created two different tables in which I am linking these two tables with the primary and the foreign key. So to to just give you an idea that I was storing the different data in different tables, and then I was connecting them through the use of foreign key. So this was the structure till now. Because of this, because I'm moving from one table to another table to fetch this data, it was taking more time. Okay, and what was happening due to this is, at the month end or at the year end, lot of time was occupied doing the reporting and closing part. For example, at the month end, if I have the deadline to complete all my reporting till 5th, I was involved day and night to make sure that the reports are completed till 5th. Okay, so even in the CFO's mind, the same thing was happening. Okay, I have the deadline to complete all the reporting till 5th, so I need to work on that. So it was a reactive business model. Reactive business model means after completing the reports on 5th, you were not left off with much of time to think, how can I improve my processes? See, why I need the reports, why I need the financial reports? To plan the future periods. For example, if I'm in period 1 and I have generated the reports, in these reports I can see, I can save this cost uh, for this particular activity. But if that cost is available only at 5th or 6th of the month, and I am again tied up with my normal operations, I cannot plan, right? So it is called the reactive business model. So you are just reacting what is happening. You are not being proactive. You will be becoming only proactive when you don't need to worry about the reporting part. Are you understanding what I mean to say? I'm talking about from the CFO's perspective. So because CFO is not getting the reports on time, he is just doing the reactive work. Like, okay, this is the reports, now I need to plan accordingly. I'm not able to take the proactive decisions. I can take proactive decisions only when the data is available in the real time. So even if I am on the 20th of the month, I know the target for this month is this much. If I get the reports on 20th, I can plan how I'm going to change my priorities, how I'm going to change my uh, uh, what we can say, the perspective, so that my target is achieved in these 10 days. But because I'm getting the reports only on the 30th, I'm not able to do any changes into my priorities. So these were the disadvantages. The data I was not getting on time. It was getting this data was stored in multiple tables, and the speed was a problem. Okay, because of this, SAP or maybe the customers were asking SAP to provide the database in which they can get the reports faster. Or maybe they were not talking about database. They were just saying provide us the reports which can be generated instantly on the real time, so that we can do our reporting. We can do the we can keep the proactive approach. Okay, so that is the basic idea why this SAP HANA came into picture. So if I talk about SAP HANA, like what are the advantages of SAP HANA over the traditional database? See, it is a common database approach for online transaction processing and online analytical processing. Anybody can tell me what is OLTP and OLAP?
ACC and BW.
Okay. Okay, ACC and BW, you are
ACC
talking
is
about
the
SAP.
OLTP.
Yes, so you are talking
Right.
about the
ACC is the OLTP.
yeah, you are talking from the SAP background, but if I am totally new to, like, I'm a fresher, I don't know what is SAP, I don't know anything. If I want to know what is OLTP and OLAP, what should be your answer?
OLTP
I
is
think
where
that
you perform your transaction, and the OLAP is where you see your how you see your reports and analytics part.
Exactly. So it is like today, if I go to my scenario in SAP, so I have, as you told, that ECC and BW. So normally what happens is I do my transactions in ECC and I get my reports from BW. But again, this transport of the data from ECC to BW, it is scheduled based on the requirement. For example, I mean to say it is not real time, right? There is always some time gap which is involved when I transport this data from ECC to BW, right? But what if this data is available in the real time? So as soon as I enter the transactions, I can see the reports, they are affected with the new transaction, right? This will only happen when I have a single source. I don't have multiple database storages. If I have the single storage where all my data is getting stored, OLTP and OLAP also, in that case I can get the reports. But if the storages are different, so I always need to pull the data from ECC to BW, right? So this was happening till now. But now going forward, SAP HANA has been built on this capability that you can use OLTP and OLAP on the single instance, which will make sure that the reports are available on the real time. Apart from this, as I told you, the SAP HANA is built up on the columnar database. So it is not storing the data in the form of rows. Now again, I am also not the right person to tell you how this columnar database will work, because again, this is a technical thing. But from functional point of view, from my point of view as a SAP FICO consultant, I can see the speed. There's a lot of improvement in the speed when we go to this SAP HANA database. And again, it has the in-memory capability. In-memory capability means normally in your PC or in your server, you have two different type of uh, memory. One is RAM, which is when you whatever transactions you are performing currently, they are done through RAM. And on the other hand, whatever you are storing, for example, you are storing some documents, you are storing some uh, let's say videos, something you are storing on the hard drives, which is called as a C drive or D drive, right? So what is happening is whatever data you need currently, you will store in RAM, because you want to perform the operations on this data now itself. So that part is coming into the RAM. But whatever you don't need now, you need to perform in the future, you store normally into the hard drives. So same thing is happening in SAP also. So the transactions which you will do on the day-to-day basis, that transactions you can keep in memory. And the difference is, whatever you store in the RAM, the speed will be better. The reason is, it is already available in the memory. While the transactions which you want to extract from the hard drive, it will take some time because they are the secondary storage devices and RAM is the primary storage device, right? So what this HANA is providing you is in memory. So it has in-memory capability. So whatever transactions you will perform on the day-to-day basis, they will be stored in the in-memory, which will make sure the speed is better compared to the old system. Okay, so here if you can see the diagrams, so transact, here you have three different systems to get the reports. So first is transact, that means for example your ECC system. Second is analysis, this can be your BW, and third, let's say this is BPC. So you are transporting the data from ECC to BW, and after that the data is available in the BPC with the use of BW. So this ETL is the tool which is transporting the data from this to this. So what is happening here is three copies of data. You are storing the same data here also. Again, you are copying this data here also in the second, and finally you are transporting this data to the BPC also. So you are having three set of data. Okay, and there is also the wastage of time because you need to perform all these activities. Maybe you can schedule all this, but again, when the data is transported from one instance to another instance, or maybe from one database to another database, if you run any transaction during that time, you will obviously see the speed has been deteriorated. The reason is because there is already some scheduled activity which is going on. Okay, so this is the big problem with the old database. Now coming to the new database, because there is only one database which is having all this OLTP, maybe transaction data can be performed on the single server. The reporting part can also be performed on a single server. So what is happening is you are not storing the data, or you are not copying the data from one database to another because it is already stored in a single database. You need less hardware. Right now, if you are using BW, so you have a separate database for BW and separate database for ECC. But here you can have only a single database. Okay, and the most important is simplification. So you are just simplifying your data model. Is this clear, or any questions on SAP HANA? Like what exactly is, if you have any questions related to OLTP, OLAP, how exactly the things are done?
Hi
So that
Gaurav,
means in
Veda
SAP,
here.
on SAP HANA, this BW, ECC, everything will be in one single database.
Yes.
Though till now there are different databases.
Yes.
Gaurav, I have one question.
Yes.
You said BPC, this SAP HANA has inbuilt features of BPC as well?
SAP HANA, sorry, can you repeat?
See, the reporting part, consolidation part, which is being done currently in BPC, this is another tool. So, does HANA has that feature, consolidation also can be done in that?
Yes, let me clarify this. So it is like this. Today, although SAP HANA has the capabilities of storing and analyzing the data in the single system, but still I think your question is valid. If we talk about particularly about SAP BPC, so till now the planning functionality has already been taken care in the same system, but consolidation still SAP has not SAP has not implemented, or maybe this change has not been implemented in the S/4HANA. So if you are using consolidation, you need to have a separate server till now. But they are working on it. Maybe in the next quarter we can hear that BPC is also now the integral part of the SAP HANA ECC. So till today, planning, yes, planning is already taken care into the SAP S/4HANA, but consolidation still now you are maintaining it as separate.
Fine.
Yeah, what I think SAP is working towards is like even the disclosure management. Like I put a transaction and I immediately see it in my financial statement in the disclosure management. So maybe it's a long way to go for them as well.
Right. Because see, there are a lot of developments which are happening from SAP side also. So this is just an beginning. So this universal journal is just the foundation they have came up with. But based on this foundation, there are a lot of developments which can come in the future.
Hi Gaurav, this is Neeraj here.
Yeah, Neeraj.
With respect to BPC, I presume that the database for BPC would still be the BW cubes, or will there be any change?
No, that is exactly what I told now. So if you are using BPC only for planning, okay,
even
you
for
don't
planning
need.
purpose, even for
Yes.
planning purpose, the info cubes would be the BW info cubes, right? So first we'll have to migrate BW to HANA and then create cubes and then do reporting through BPC, right?
Yes. So yes. So you can migrate your whatever is maintained in your BW directly into the SAP S/4HANA system.
And then after that, I'll have to carry out business. Means
Yes,
BPC
all
still
this.
plays the role of a business object. It is like a business object.
Yes, it is like a business object, but you can do all your planning activities directly into the ECC. You don't need to go to BPC system as such.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
So
planning. So
means you would say
there
the
is
dimensions and all.
yes, there is already a module called as
Right,
integrated business planning, which is same
oh,
as
so this is the new future of finance,
yes,
right?
integrated business. It is not a
So
new feature, but it has some improvements in S/4HANA.
I see. Because integrated planning used to be there where we used to take care of like starting from marketing and then
Yes,
your MRPs,
exactly.
etc. So
Yes.
same will
So
happen here
now,
also. Okay.
yes, even the cost center planning, profit center planning, now you don't need to go into the separate screens for that. You can directly do in a same module called as integrated business planning.
Okay. So means integrated planning has become active and now partaking the place of the planning functionality of BPC.
Yes. So if you have the requirement that you only want to perform the planning activity, so there is no need to implement
Go
SAP
for
BPC
BPC.
as such because
I
planning
see.
you can already do in the integrated business planning IBP. But if you have the requirement of consolidation, again you have the option. You can carry on your planning in IBP while the consolidation function you can go for BPC.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any further questions here? Okay, let's move ahead. So yes, so the end of the day, what I mean to say is if you are going for SAP HANA, like what the basic difference between SAP HANA and the other databases is that the simplified data model. Simplified data model, as I explained in the last step, that it is like you are mapping your OLTP and OLAP in the single server. You are not storing all your data in different systems. You are storing the same. You are storing the data only in the common source. So I think this is just the uh, what you can say the diagram which will explain you what this is. So simplified means OLTP and OLAP in the columnar database. Again, because you are using this, you can do the predictive analysis. These are some of the benefits, like the transaction streaming, planning, text, everything you can do on the same server, which will help you in being the prescriptive, being predictive. You can do the proactive planning rather than the reactive business model which we are following till now. Okay, and this is like what are the different functionalities you can do. So you have a single application server which is doing the planning functionalities also, calculations also. So as I told you, if you are removing if you are going for SAP Simple Finance, you don't need any FAGL flexi table because totals will be performed on runtime. So all these calculations will be done on runtime. You don't need to store such data in any tables. Okay, so that is the reason why this calculation engine is in place in SAP HANA. This is the journey of S4HANA. So I think in 2008.
Gaurav, I have one question.
Yeah.
I have one question. See, the existing ABAP, whatever enhancement we are using, So how it will be migrated to SAP HANA? So it's a separate approach or how it is?
No, can you
No,
just
I
what
have
what?
a lot of, if I have a lot of customized programs,
Okay.
so how it can be mapped with the SAP HANA, I'm just trying to understand.
Okay, so you mean to say you have already done some customizing programs on the old tables, like for example,
Yeah.
you have used FAGL FlexT, you have used BSIS, BSAS, which will not be available in the new system, right? So how
Yeah,
you are going
that's
to
right.
take care? Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So see, all your custom programs will be copied to the new system during the installation phase. Now, when they are already copied, when you run these reports, what will be the impact, right? So if
Yeah,
there are no
yeah,
tables, how the data will be fetched?
yeah.
Yes. Okay. The answer is that even though for example, I'm taking the BSIS table. So if I have a query which is written directly on the BSIS table, now when this query will run, select, let's say, star from BSIS. Now BSIS is no more a table in my new structure. In that case, what will happen is when this installation phase will take place, this will remove BSIS, BSAS, all these tables. But at the same time, this there will be new CDS views which will be created. I don't know how much of you are aware of tables and views. Views are just the temporary storage. They don't store any data as such. Views are like a calculation. When you perform any query on that views, again that view will write a query and it will fetch the data from different tables. So for example, BSIS is not a table anymore. Whenever I write select star from BSIS, what this BSIS will do, because it is created as a view, it will again ask the data from AC docket. I don't know how many of you are aware
Yes,
of
of course, of
views.
course. I got your point. So you mean to
Yes.
say still all these tables which have been consolidated into AC docket,
Mm-hmm.
they'll still generate these views. I'm say tables
Yes,
like BSID, BSAD, all these will become views now, and then
exactly.
further reporting would happen as normal, like it used to be. The only
Yes.
difference is that instead of physical table, now these will be the form of views.
Yes. So let me explain. I think you got it perfectly. It is like, let us understand what is the difference between the table and the view first. The table is a thing which stores the data. So if you go in SE16 and run the, uh, you ask for particular data from this table, it will give you a lot of uh, rows. Now these rows are stored in the table. This means they are occupying the space in the table. But if I remove these tables and I just provide a link, I'll say don't store anything in BSIS. Rather than that, whenever I ask something from BSIS, BSIS will go to AC docket, fetch that information and give it to me. So instead of directly storing the data, what I'm saying is I'm just providing the address of AC docket to BSIS. So whenever I ask anything from BSIS, BSIS knows that this information, although it is not available in BS with me, it is available with AC docket. I can fetch the data from AC docket and provide to the user who is asking for this data. So if I already done some reports, if I already created some custom reports, whenever I'll run these reports, I'm as an end user, I'll not notice that this data is not actually coming from BSIS, but this is coming from AC docket. But as an end user, I'll get the same results which I was getting earlier, and even more faster because now it is stored in a single table.
You mean to say there is no changes in coding part? The system
No,
will
no,
take
no.
care.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Coding will
Yeah.
not change at all. But again, there is one exception here. So custom objects you normally create for two different reasons. One is to extract the data, which means you are just reading the data, right? So for example, you are asking for a particular information from BSIS, you are writing the select query and you are getting it. But there is another custom object which you can write for writing the data. For example, you are inserting some statement on BSIS. Okay. So in the custom object, you are writing something on the insert, you writing on the BSIS table. This will not work because you cannot write anything on views. Earlier it was table, it was storing data, you were writing something. Means you were adding one record in that table, but now you will not be able to add anything on BSIS. So if you have that custom objects which are writing the data on these tables, you need to change your codes accordingly. Clear?
So Gaurav, you
Okay,
mean to
got
say
it.
I'll give one more
going
exception
forward,
case.
any customization would be directly done on tables on your AC docker table?
Yes, that is the reason why we are going for this. So
Okay.
currently, if we are generating a report which consists of 6 different tables, rather than that, if you are going for the new customization, you can find most of the information directly in AC docker. So there is no point asking for this different views to provide the information. You can direct access the information from AC docker.
No, I think you didn't get the point. The point I was making was, now since we cannot carry out any customization in these views, so whatever customization etc. we need to do, that will be done at the AC doc A level or creating other tables.
No, see, it
Custom
depends.
tables.
It depends on the customizations, which type of customizations you are doing. So if yes, you see, it depends, like if you are
Okay,
sure that yeah.
I'll simplify his question. Is there any possibility to create a new field or one fields in AC docker table instead of the other BSIS tables?
See, when you are talking about the new fields, it depends like which new field you are talking about.
For example,
right?
I found that I did not find any field in that AC docker table which will have approximately more than 300 fields, but still I didn't get my field what I want. So I want to add one new field in that AC docker. So is it possible or is it supportable?
No, it is possible, because see, AC docker is again one of the table like BSIS. Right, so if you are able to do anything on BSIS in the old system, you can do directly into the AC docker also. But again, why I'm saying it depends is, normally if there is only one table, I personally don't think that you will need any extra field which you want to add into the AC docker. It is always the better option to create a Z field or a Z table in which you store the data, and then you make the connections between these two tables. Because changing the single source of truth, I think it is too much of risky.
Absolutely, I got your point. Thank you. That was the whole idea. And my friend who helped me simplify my question, thank you very much for that. Well, the whole idea I wanted to understand was that can we create like Z tables and then connect it to your this common repository? So I believe
Yes,
the answer is yes. That's how it
that is
goes.
very much possible. So from the, as I told you, from the ABAP point of view, you can create tables, you can create fields, everything is possible. It is not the difference. There is no difference in the old system and the new system as far as creation of tables, creation of views, creation of fields in any tables are concerned. So they will become, they will work as it is. And I think you got the answer of
And
the
related to
lead.
the question,
Yes.
sorry. Related to the question of do I need to change some code, you gave a good
Mm-hmm.
example that write statements we need to consider, but there can be also cases where I am having my own totals table or build my own views, so which may not have been available with the new structure. So for example, I have a new totals table from which I am reporting. Probably that would no more be available, so I have to redo my programming.
Yes. So it is like the read access is available, but whatever Z like insert statements or any other statements which cannot be performed to the views directly, that you have to take it separately and you need to create this codings again based on the new data model.
Gaurav, Neeraj here.
Yeah,
I'm
Neeraj.
sorry, one question out of the topic, if you allow me right now. In fact, I do not understand CO. That is your product costing in your COPA. So is it a prerequisite to understand this?
No, I don't think so, because when we talk about COPA, there is no change, only the change is in account-based COPA. And that too, I don't want you to have the prerequisite of understanding COPA, because the change is only related to the, again, the data storage. So currently in COPA, if I
I got your point. Account-based, it will be just the tables, the underlying tables would change.
Yes, so underlying tables will not be required now because all the data can be fetched directly from AC-Docker.
Right. But for costing base, the structure is the same.
Costing base is not changed. It is not touched at all.
Okay.
So it will remain as it is. So we are not going to talk about that because we are only going to talk about the topics which have the small or major changes, whatever it is, we are going to talk about that topics.
But the tables pertaining to COPA, for example, your operating concern CEO 101020304. So these tables would also be migrated to HANA, I believe, right?
Yes, yes.
To carry out the COPA reportability, but the functionality would remain more or less the same.
Functionality will remain same. Only thing, the speed will be very good, and at the same time, in COPA, like in account-based COPA also, I've seen the instances in which they take the data, like they have two different services for COPA separately and for ECC separately. It is not mandatory, but I've seen some scenarios in which they keep the COPA reporting separate. So here you don't need to do that because you are getting the data from the single source of information, AC-Docker. So all these COPA reportings can be generated on the real time.
And same goes for product costing as well.
Yes, product costing will remain as it is. There is no change as far as product costing is concerned.
So various tables of CO, including your cost objects, there would be no change into that.
No. There are some changes, like as I told you, the planning. The planning will be moved to integrated planning. So cost center planning, profit center planning, whatever you are doing till now, that will be migrated to the integrated business planning. Second thing, the master data, for example, cost element. Till now we were maintaining the cost element separately, right? But now going forward, GL account and cost element will be merged into the single master data.
I see. So through cost element, even the cost objects, including like your cost centers or internal orders, they'll also get captured in this one common database.
Yes.
AC docs.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
So even your FI and controlling, you don't need any real-time reconciliation or something. You don't need reconciliation at all because it will be stored in a single table.
I see.
So you don't have COEP.
That helps in faster closure of books of accounts.
Yes, exactly. So that is exactly. So that is the basic idea, faster closing. So that is the reason why everything has been included in a single table.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Gaurav, so, you said GL and this cost elements merged. So there are chances sometime I don't want GL as a cost element. Is it taken care? So there is an option I can avoid still the GL as a cost element?
Yes. That is, see, exactly what you are doing till now, you will be able to do that. But only thing is you don't have any cost element which has to be created separately in a different master data. Just using the same master data, FS00 screen, you can create a cost element also. So just give me, let me give the example. So for example, you have all your expense accounts. Normally they are created as a GL account also and cost element also. But going forward, you will create a single master data. You don't need to create a GL account separately and cost element account separately. There will be only one master data, and it will be there is a new field called as account type. In that, we'll mention that this is my primary account or primary cost account, which automatically makes sure that this is my cost element also and my GL account also. And whenever you are not creating the cost element, for example, the balance sheet account, you don't need any cost element for this balance sheet account. So you just select the account type at balance sheet account. This will make sure that it is only created as a GL account.
Yeah.
So Gaurav, Neeraj here.
Yeah, Neeraj.
So the look and feel of the front-end application layer, has that also changed, or is it the same as before?
No, that has been changed. If you see the GL master, that is changed.
Okay. And the simple access, earlier the simple access which used to be there, simple access means your easy access screen. So would it still remain the same, or it has changed?
Yeah, that is almost same. There is no change as such. Only thing is there will be some Some new transactions and some transactions will be removed, yes. So even in SPRO screen, you can find that some of the transactions are not appearing because they are removed, and some of the transactions are appearing for the first time.
Okay.
But there is that changes are minimal. I don't see a lot of changes. There are some small changes which have been done in this version.
Okay. And what happens to the SIN functionality which is currently available for India? So these
SIN,
functionalities are there?
yeah, they will work as it is.
I see. Only
SIN
the
or
underlying
maybe,
database is changing.
yes. So see, if I put it like this, there is no such changes as far as functionality is concerned. So today, if I'm doing my AR reporting or maybe AR transactions, there is no change as per the transactions and reporting is concerned. Only thing is the data model. So whenever I save the data, it is normally it is stored in multiple tables. Now it will only store in a single table. So which will make sure that when I fetch the data or when I do the transactions, it becomes faster and I have the clear access, like the real-time reporting can be generated because I don't need to look after all these different tables. I can just see one table and I can find all the relevant information. So that is the reason why this taxes and SIN, everything has been kept as it is because as such the functionality is not going to change.
Thank you very much.
Gaurav, I have one question. When new GL is introduced, I have seen many companies, they have just gone to XT6, but technically it is upgraded, but they don't use new GL effectively. So the same case might happen with SAP HANA as well, but Simple Finance. They might upgrade it to Simple Finance, but they may not use the features. I mean to say the functional upgradation. There are additional configuration is required for SAP HANA Simple Finance. Is it mandatory or they can also can forego those things? They no need to do that configuration part.
Yeah, let me give you the example. For example, you have already moved from classical to new GL accounting, okay, and you are not, let's say you are not using the ledger functionality also, you are not using the document splitting functionality also. But
Yeah.
because you have implemented new GL, the data will be getting stored in FAGL Flexa and FlexD, right? Even though if you
Yeah.
don't use document splitting, even if you don't use ledger concept, right?
Yes.
Similarly,
Yeah.
here also, if you implement SAP Simple Finance, all the data will be stored in AC dock, irrespective of whether you are using the functionalities of the new cache management, or maybe there are some minor enhancements in AR and AP. If you don't want to use, you can always go for that. It is okay if you don't use. But the table structure, the GL account, as I told you, will be merged. That will change. That will be changed, even if you don't use the functionalities. But again, there is one exception to this. Exception is new asset accounting. So SAP Simple Finance has come up with concept of new asset accounting, and that is mandatory. So if you want to use asset accounting, you cannot use old asset accounting onto your Simple Finance server. So that is the must. That is the mandatory thing you have to do. If you are migrated to Simple Finance, you have to activate new asset accounting. But apart from that, small functionalities, you can choose whether you want to use or not.
Okay.
So Gaurav, Neeraj here, then what happens to those tables of asset accounting, for example, ANAL and all that? So
Again, there are a lot of changes to that tables also. That tables are also removed. Some of the I had a list of all these tables when we talk about this topic. So again, the same thing will happen. There are a lot of tables which will be removed. They will be created as the views, and all the asset related data will also get stored in the AC docket.
Oh.
So as I told you, even asset accounting, controlling, FI, COPA, material ledger, all these different reconciliations are not required anymore because all the separate tables which were used for these modules, they will be deleted, they will be created as the views, and all the information relevant to all these submodules will be created in a single table called as AC docket.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions?
Gaurav,
so you mean to say, Gaurav, even for subsidiary ledgers, for example, you said that everything, BSID, BSAD, everything is getting merged into AC docket. Fine. I got answer to my question. Thank you.
Okay. No, but what was your question? Can you
That
just explain?
even for master data as well as all your means for your subsidiary accounts, are they also going to merge to AC Doc A? The answer is yes.
Okay. What are the subsidiary accounts?
Subsidiary accounts, I would say your customers' accounts, AP, AR,
Okay. Okay.
fixed assets,
Subledgers.
banks,
Subledger
right,
accounts.
subledgers, right.
Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Any questions?
Maybe he has a wrong perception. The master data remains the same in all tables. It's not only the transaction data which gets merged, right?
Yes. Master data will
Thanks for
remain as it is.
rectifying me. Right. Thanks for rectifying me. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
See,
referring to
master
transaction
data.
data.
Yes. Only see AC doc A is only for line items. Again, I'm telling the line items. BKPF will remain as it is. There is no change in BKPF. There is no change in master data. There is only change in transaction line tables. So whatever was updated in BSEG, whatever was updated in COEP, whatever was updated in ANLA, ANLC, whatever are the tables related to asset transactions, they will be removed and the single table will be called as AC doc A. So if you are talking about the subsidiary
And
master
when
accounts,
you
yes, I
migrate,
think.
Gaurav,
Yeah.
when you are migrating, so you have already started with one migration. So what is the time frame they are looking out, and what is the scenario you are working on out of these three scenarios?
Okay, so the scenario which I have worked, like as I told you, currently I'm working on the second migration project. The first migration project I worked, it was a new GL accounting. So they were already using new GL accounting from last 5 years, and the data was as old as 15 years. So earlier 10 years they were using classical GL accounting, and from last 5 years they were using new GL accounting. And the current implementation which I'm working on is a customer who is using who is using new GL accounting, but he is not using document splitting, ledger concept, anything. As I think Veda has told that even though they have implemented new GL accounting, but they are still not using document splitting, new GL accounting, anything. So they want to move to SAP Simple Finance now, but at the same time they want to activate all these different functionalities. So this is again a critical project. The reason is, first of all, you have to implement some of the new GL functionalities, and then only you can go for Simple Finance. It is not necessary, but there is a requirement that in Simple Finance you want to use all these functionalities also. So that is the reason. So for this,
So
I think it
time frame,
depends.
I mean, what is the time frame of implementation?
Yeah, see, time frame, it depends on the scenarios. So when I talked about the first scenario, classical GL accounting, they said the new GL accounting they don't want to use now. They just want to move to the simple finance, although they will not use document splitting, ledger, anything currently, but maybe after 1 year or something, they will again go for the new GL functionalities. So in that case, the scenario was very simple, because we don't need to activate all these subsequent functionalities. We just need to move to simple finance to make the tables simpler. So again, whenever we are doing this activity, it is always suggested to do this at the year end or the beginning of the new year, right? So if you have started the project in let's say June, then also if you have completed all your activities in September, then also you need to test your system, because you can only go live on 1st of new fiscal year, right? This is suggested. This is not mandatory. Even if you want to go in between, there is an option, but again, it should be at the period end. So this time frame, it depends. Like I'll say
So
that
I'm trying to visualize how does this happen. So this HANA and HANA database and everything would be physically into a different server, and that server what I'm working on would be an existing server. So once I have all the functionalities up and ready for the new server, then there is some option where I connect these two servers and migrate the data, or is it like a fresh implementation where we upload everything, master
no, no,
data and balances and everything?
no. Just a minute. Let me clarify. You are saying you have two different servers. One is on HANA and one is non-HANA, right? And currently you are working on non-HANA and you want to move to HANA, right?
No, I'm assuming that is the case, but I'm trying to understand what is the right thing. Is it two different servers, or we just migrate the database in the same server and upgrade the hardware?
No, see, it is like this. As I told you, this simple finance will it will be installed only on the server which is already on SAP HANA. So currently, if you are using on, let's say, classical GL accounting or new GL accounting with any old database, you are not using HANA. So first of all, before starting the simple finance project, you have to start a project of upgrading to SAP HANA, which is totally a technical project, right? So you will not have a separate instance. I'm not saying you create a separate instance for SAP HANA and move all your data to the from your old system to the new system. Rather than that, you can directly upgrade your existing server, right?
Okay.
Okay, once that is done, once SAP HANA is in place, so I think this project itself will take you 2-3 months, because if you want to move to SAP HANA, there is separate things that you need to perform. The basis team will do that, or SAP HANA team has to do that. Once you are already on SAP HANA, you can go for this migration, and for going to this migration, you need to have the 5 phases, as I told you: preparation, migration. So that migration, the migration of the new screens relevant to simple finance, that will be installed only after you are already on SAP HANA database. So you don't need to install this SAP simple finance add-on onto the different servers. You can directly install on the same server which is already running.
Okay.
Is it clear, or there is some confusion?
No, I got it.
Okay. So
hi, got a Neeraj here.
I'm using yes.
Sorry.
Gaurav, Neeraj here.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Gaurav, if I take the scenario that that the existing client is currently on UGL and they want to introduce document splitting in parallel ledger. So, in the previous case, we used to carry out SLO services. That scenario
migration services, yes.
Right, to carry out this migration.
Yes.
Now, if the client wants to migrate to HANA, and in addition, he wants these functionalities as well. So, what is the best practice? First, upgrade in the legacy and then migrate it to HANA, or first bring things to HANA and then run the SLO services on HANA to create a parallel ledger or create document splitting?
See, both the options are available. Okay, you can directly migrate to simple finance and then subsequently activate this functionalities, document splitting and all. And second approach is first to carry out the project of activating the document splitting. Once everything has been done, then you move to simple finance. So both the approaches are available.
Okay, and how about going forward? Maybe the person who is currently on HANA, and after some time he decides to introduce these new functionalities, for example, parallel ledger and document splitting. So
yes, he can perform.
Would it be the same way the SLOs which were working on the previous tables?
Yes. Migration cockpit will. Yes. That will work as it is. So it is completely a total project. So we are not going to merge. SAP has clearly told we will not merge these two projects. Data like the migration of the new GL is totally different thing, and migration of simple finance is totally different thing. So even if you want to activate some of the functionalities of new GL, you will continue to use as you were doing earlier. There is no connection with simple finance. Only thing is there are two options available. One is you can implement the functionalities and then you go to simple finance, or other way, like you implement the simple finance first and then you activate the new functionalities.
Means the whole idea is that the cockpit would be adjusted according to the new tables now.
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Got it.
Any further questions? Okay, I think
one thing quite strange I'm finding in this forum, more than questions related to the course, more questions are related to consulting.
No, but that is why we are here. So it is, see, if you are a consultant, you will find a lot of these issues in the real-time project. So here is exactly we get the lot of help from our industry experts. So we are already working on SAP. I think most of you are 10 years, 15 years of experience. So you must be knowing what is exactly happening in the system. So if you go through this session without interacting, this will not add that much value. But if you think of lot of scenarios which you already worked and you want to make sure that how this new functionality work on that scenario, that will help everybody. So that is the entire idea.
Right. Looks more like
but
an MBA class, you know.
Yeah, but Neeraj, take my comment as positively. All your questions are like a managerial questions. So I feel very happy when you are asking, like my manager is asking very high level words or terms.
Actually, boss, right. Thank you very much. But I have risen from a configurator to the director. Right.
Yeah, I understand when you are asking the questions in that way. So that's why I said.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. So I think we already passed our time today. We'll meet tomorrow then. We'll continue the same PPT and we'll try to complete this introduction session and we'll start off with the next unit tomorrow.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, Neeraj, thank you.
Before this, what is like timings?
Yeah. Sorry?
Same time every day or only weekends?
No, I think we'll keep the same timings only if anybody has no problem. So I think the timings and all you can discuss with the coordinator because she is the one who is coordinating with me also. Whatever time will be suited for all of you, we can keep the same timings. And the server also you need to check with the coordinator.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time, Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
but yeah, actually, she said that it's a weekend sessions, Saturday 2.5 hours and Sunday 2.5 hours, right? So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be for 2.5 hours. Only thing is for this week. So today and tomorrow, I'll just keep it 1.5 hour because I don't want to keep like in the starting itself. I don't want to keep give you too much of pressure. So in the from the next week, I think we can start off with 2.5 hour session. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.